really super intense week. I have two cats that are like the centerpiece of my universe, and one of them got into a lily on Monday, which I had just learned are incredibly toxic to cats. So I've spent the last 3 days like bawling my head off and like making miserable trips to the vet with my poor cat crying her head off, and it's been intense. But we just walked away with what I think is a clean bill of health, and I'm doing better. So it's been a thing. And then music, gosh, it's just I left the last class feeling super inspired and excited to play the CharanGO, and felt like I'd learned enough from a couple of these sessions to like really like play and have fun with it. So between that and just learning new stuff on the guitar, it's just sort of like my happy place that I go to.
Great. I'm so happy to hear your cat is better.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not something else we want to add right now, like sick pets. No.
You know, you like, you love them to the moon and back, and then something like this happens, and it's like, I didn't know I could love you more, but it turns out.
Yeah, and I will pay. I will pay to show how much
I will bankrupt myself before it's gonna happen right now.
I will pay for your food before I pay for my food.
Yeah. Such a thing. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Laura, how are you doing, love?
Hi.
Hey.
I'm good. Skylar and I built this home, and we just finished it like less than a week ago, and so things are really good. We've just moved into our new home. Skylar's out there playing music, and yeah, I haven't been playing a lot of music, so we've just been kind of go on this project, but I'm excited to get into this instrument.
Great. Yay. And they're home for everyone. Will you tell everybody just a snippet about what you mean when you say you just built your home?
Yeah, we built a van home. So now we live in a pretty luxurious, awesome van with a fridge and a toilet and a sink and electricity. So it's pretty fun, exciting time for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, sweetie. Happy you're here. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, love, how are you doing, Mama?
I've actually been doing great. I've really come to realize many times in my life, but especially in this quarantine, that we always have a choice of fear or trust in life. And I'm just trusting that all of this is happening for a higher purpose, and really seeing that as a reflection in my own life. I've been just taking so many online courses and have picked up the CharanGO and have been playing it every day. And I got this settlement money that I've been waiting for like 3 or 4 years, and I've bought a bunch of musical instruments that I have been wanting for a long time. And yeah, just so grateful for this time to slow down and to do the inner work and increase my skills. I'm also about to do an advanced training in compo as well. So I'm super excited about all of that.
Great. So good to have you here, sweetie. Welcome, Mama Patra. You want to do a little check-in?
Hi there, everybody. Hi. It's so good to see all of you. Hi. Well, this is a good reason to play CharanGO, isn't it? Thank you, Britta. And yeah. Aww.
There was a little prompt of like, what's the role music is playing in your quarantine?
Okay, very good. Um, hmm. Yeah, it just carries me and um, helps me smooth out the edges and helps me to breathe when I need to breathe. And yeah, it's been helping me to tap into my gratitude and just grateful to be alive. And I feel really fortunate to be able to be here and to play music. And so, yeah, thank you. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. Danielle, how you doing, honey?
Hi. I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, it was kind of a overcast, rainy day today, so got kind of cozy. But yeah, it's been really nice just having time to enjoy spring around the house and in the garden and all of that. I I definitely was expecting to be playing more music than I am. Like, I'm gonna play this little guy every single day, but that hasn't happened. So yeah, when I do play, I find that I kind of just like go through my little repertoire of songs and have been trying to kind of practice the new chords and practice the strumming techniques, but it's harder for me to be more disciplined about that. And it's kind of easier for me to just play through the songs that I have and use that as a form of practice. So yeah, I'm just kind of noticing that about like my patterns in picking up and playing, and yeah, that's about it. Happy to be here.
Happy you're here. Brother Paul, you look very mysterious. Your lighting situation.
Yeah, I hope it's attractive. This is my garage sanctuary where I do all my musical practice, speaking of which. And I have really found that, you know, ordinarily when one interfaces with a lot of people, there's a lot of vibratory content and a lot of vibratory exchange. And I feel that music really has to take the place of that a lot now. And so I'm feeling that I'm engaging with the music much more like I would with a person, which has its challenges because it brings up my control issues. You know, it's like I want it to come out the way I want it to sound, and then, but it often has other ideas. But fortunately, as I've learned from your song, is I don't have to know the way. So I just need to listen to it and see what comes. And I'm enjoying that. And otherwise, the seclusion has been treating me well, and I'm having a good time. But it's lovely to see you all, especially Sarah.
I know, and Phoenix.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, beautiful. Well, my check-in, I'm doing well. I'm fluctuating. I'm fluctuating, mostly good, and I have challenging moments. And music is playing a very big role right now. Ben and I are doing a 40-day sadhana together, which is an hour-long practice in the mornings. And the first half of that is breath and yoga and meditation and chanting. It's like in the Kundalini tradition. And then we have 30 minutes of music which I've been alternating between CharanGO and this is my other obsession right now, which is my little Ravenna harp, which is really special. So yeah, I am moving very slowly with that, which is great. It's been fun to just like do scales. So that's been really good. It's been fun actually to do like scales for half an hour is something that I've actually never done before with any instrument ever. So it's fun to kind of just force myself to get super studentship like. And then with CharanGO, I've really been mostly practicing some new songs. Well, actually they're not new, they're old songs, but things that I'm revisiting. And then Ben and I did this virtual concert on Friday, and we played one of our new songs that was super tricky, even though it's actually it's a fairly simple song. It's one of those things that's like, oh yeah, it's simple, but it was not simple. It was like just yeah, really it crunched my brain in a great way. So that's music for me. And I'm excited about today. So thanks to those of you who chimed in the Facebook group. That was fun to see, just a few check-ins. Dee wants some new songs. Karen wants some Britta hybrid instructions. Sarah has like a hand issue. So we will address all those things. And I also would like to go over the G chord today and the A major chord. And then I've got 3 songs to share in 3 different languages. So you can take your pick, and plenty to work on for a while. So if at any point in time you have a question, you can raise your hand, or you can type it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourselves, and yeah, let me know. So let's start with Sarah's question, because maybe other people will have something to chime into on this. So Sarah's question was that she's having a hard time not like dampening the bottom E strings while she's playing. So, let's say, and Sarah, you can interrupt me anytime, although it looks like you're getting in a pillow fight. But yeah, so playing and having your hand right here, which the first thing that your question brings up for me is the tricky business of the rounded back CharanGO that doesn't have a strap, which I navigated for years. I now have a flat back CharanGO that has a strap. So it's a whole new world, but it used to be that way for many years. And so so that's kind of the first thing that comes up for me, is that it is a little tricky to play, because if I don't use my strap, then you have to use your hand to hold up the instrument. So what I think probably people who don't play with straps, it's a matter of positioning so that not too much of your palm is over this edge of the instrument, so that maybe it's closer to just the end of your fingers. And then Patra had the great point a couple, I can't remember, meetings ago, that when you're chording, you want to imagine that your hands are a claw. So if you are having long, slender fingers, and a hand that's too far over, you are going to tamp that bottom string down. So I think it's a matter of like playing with how far forward or back is my palm on the bottom, on the base of the instrument, and then making sure that my thumb is in a good place where I've got the brace, and then really making sure that my fingers are curved, like as rounded as possible when I'm doing the chords. which of course can get trickier when you're moving around a lot from chord to chord, or using all your fingers, or going for the A minor, which is on the very top. So those are a couple thoughts that I have. I will say that having a strap just makes this problem sort of go away, because you don't need to support the instrument with your hand. Like I don't even need to have my palm here. I can just have my thumb here and then play, the chords, which I think is what I do now. But I know a lot of professionals don't have a strap, like a lot of professional CharanGO players. So that's my 2 cents. Does anyone else have that problem, or has had that problem and has found a workaround, or have an opinion on that conundrum in particular?
I was just kind of paying attention to like how I hold it, and I feel like I'm mostly resting the instrument on this inside knuckle of my pointer finger. So instead of it sitting like in my palm, it's really on this knuckle, and that kind of allows me to pivot my hand a little bit for different fingering, and still support the instrument like kind of at that one point. So I think that's how I've worked around it, because I have the rounded back and no strap also, so it can be a little problematic.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Dee. That's a great tip. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because if you had your whole hand there, you have no mobility at all. So yeah.
And then also another thing that's just about holding the strings down is to make sure your fingernails are trimmed closely. And I don't know if we've talked about that yet, or just a reminder of how important it is to keep your fingernails really trimmed down so that it's the pads of your fingers that are touching the strings, and then you just have to build the calluses. But that's for sound,
Yeah.
So it's like the commitment, like, okay, I'm going to trim my nails because I'm committed.
Totally.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. On your left hand. But you actually do want some nails on your right hand, which is where things get interesting. Yeah. Is that helpful, Sarah? I guess try that and let us know, and after some fussing.
Yeah, that's all super helpful. I guess another thing to add to this is I'd also love to maybe on the Facebook group get some feedback from people who have the round back CharanGOs as to where your straps are installed, and maybe pictures, because I bought buttons and a beautiful strap that I'd love to install, and all the music stores are closed, so I can't just take it to the music store and have them install it for me. So yeah, I'd love some feedback, because I'd love to get the strap going. And in the meantime, Danielle, I love your advice of just putting the weight on the index finger knuckle. Okay.
Sarah, Skylar just drilled holes in mine and just put it in there.
Can you show us like a little closer to the camera where he did that?
He drilled a hole here.
Oh,
and here. He says it should have been lower on the back. So the butt of it? Yeah, because it does kind of do this.
Yeah.
It's very rolly. But yeah, you can call us and he'll just walk you through it. It was really easy.
Great.
I've got Skylar's number. Thank you.
Thanks, Skylar. Okay, great, beautiful. I love that club mentality. Okay, so on to Karen's question about the so-called hybrid strumming pattern. So this is the basically down with the thumb and up with the index finger. And, you know, I was trying to see if there's like a rhyme or a reason to the pattern. There isn't really. I guess there is a little bit actually. There's usually for me like a down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. That's kind of a basic template. So we could down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up. That's really, that's just a random template, but it's something that you could practice. I think why the hybrid is tricky is because it's not actually, there is no structure to it. Really, that's the basic premise. All it is that it's a downward thumb and an up index finger. But I think that often, you know, you're working with the same rhythm, right? And if you were doing like the wino strum, so that's the wino. So that's actually one way to work it in, is you can do that strum, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's that space where you're going down, up, down, up, down, up. That's like a little hybrid moment that you kind of plug in that's not actually there. If you were just doing the classic wino, you'd just be sticking with this the whole time. Whereas adding in something like that gives it, it's the same rhythm, but you're adding that upstroke and the downstroke, and you're kind of just adding a variation. So I guess playing with the down ups, like what patterns, maybe there is a pattern that you can start with. And then something else I notice about that hybrid is that there's spaciousness in it. So like when so there's those places where it's just like hanging out. So, it's of course the same rhythm, but the beats within the rhythm are changing, and there's a little bit more spaciousness, and you get to kind of play with where the spaciousness is. And then playing with like thumb going down multiple times in a row versus your index finger coming up multiple times in a row. So I was trying to pay attention to when I would do multiple downs with my thumb in a row versus when I might do multiple up with my index finger. What I was noticing with the up strokes for the index is when like we were doing the C with the pinky variation. So that's a perfect example of when you might use the upstroke multiple or like the hybrid, but starting with the index, because you want the emphasis to be on that bottom high string. So you might be doing something like this just with the regular C, and then if you add that pinky, there's like this quick double thumb stroke that happens. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. Something like that.
Okay.
It's very not scientific.
Britta, would you mind, well, I can't write it down and follow what you're saying. I'm trying to do the down, up, down, down, or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you say it slow?
Maybe.
Down, up,
I can
down.
try.
Down,
Down, down, up, down. So that's the first half of what you might do with the C. Down, down, up, down. And then if you were going to add the pinky, you could do up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down.
Okay.
Did you get that, Patrick?
The pinky part threw me off. So if you're using your pinky, then it's a different rhythm. Is that what you're doing?
It's not a different rhythm. It's just a different. It's a different accent. So if you're using a chord that's changing up that bottom pinky, you're kind of bringing a different emphasis to a different place on the strings. So it's not just the like full strum of all 10 strings. You're really emphasizing, like when I do that, I'm really only playing the bottom 4 strings when I'm doing that up part. So the upstroke is getting like string 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm hitting down. That's getting the top 2 strings.
Okay. Can you say the pinky rhythm one more time?
Yeah, I can try.
Up, down, up, down. I got that.
So down, up, down, down. Up, down, down, down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I think
well, this video's here, so you can always return to it. And again, this is not a science at all. This is very much an art form, and play with it. I mean, I don't think this is not a real strumming pattern. This is something that just comes out, and I like it because of that. I like that it's imprecise. Because you can also kind of throw it in with lots of other things. But maybe that's a place to start.
Okay, great.
How does that feel, Karen? Is that helpful at all?
Yeah, that was good. The first song that you posted, I can't remember what it was called, but there was a specific fingering pattern that you did on your upstroke fingering that I was like, it's so beautiful. What is she doing? But I don't know.
The Vuela song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will return to it, and then I'll make another post in the group, and I'll see if I can actually figure out what I'm doing and break it down.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome if you can. It's no big deal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that just knowing that that down up, that's really all the hybrid is in different variations. And when you want to bring emphasis onto these the higher string, the bottom strings, I should say, that's a really nice time to use that upstroke, because it really just strums those bottom 2 or 4 strings. Yeah. Great. So I have another strum I really want to teach y'all, but I think we should go forward in this vein of knowing that I try and do too much. I'm going to move forward, and if we have time, then we will come back because there's a really fun thing. But let's focus on G because this is a very important chord, and I want you all to know it. I know some of you already know it. So the G chord, this is G major. It is a challenging chord in the sense that it uses all 4 fingers. And it's not a challenging chord in the sense that 2 of the fingers you've already learned. So it's really adding on to something that you already know. So you're gonna start with this E variation. Hi, Skylar. You're gonna start with an E variation, which are these, your first 2 fingers on the 2nd fret, 2nd string up and 4th string up. Yeah, so that's our E variation that we've already learned. And then you're going to add your ring finger. Your other 2 fingers are going to go on the 3rd fret. So all the action is on the 2nd and the 3rd fret. Your ring finger goes on the middle string on the 3rd fret, and your pinky goes on the bottom. So you've got this like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're kind of mirrored shapes. Like if you took this shape and moved it over a fret and moved it down, that's the shape your other 2 fingers are making. So 2 here, 2 here, and that's our G chord. Is everyone finding that okay? Yeah, great. Yes, so I suppose what is important to say about this is that it's going to feel awkward at first. There's a lot of fingers, right? You're using all your fingers. You're having to press them all down so that none of your fingers are, nothing's sounding muted. And then, of course, is the challenge of moving from this chord to another chord and back to this chord because it's all 4 fingers. So you're going to be changing shapes and then coming back. So a great place to start would be going from the G to that E variation. That E, it's really an E minor 7, which is just those 2. So if you lift off your ring and your pinky, you've got that sound, and then you can put ring and pinky back. And then take them off again. And just that, isn't that pretty? Yeah, so that is our G chord, and it is in so many songs. It is such a good chord to know, and you will use it frequently. And I would just say have compassion with yourself when you're learning it, because it's a little bit of a burly chord, but your fingers will get used to it faster than you think. And it is definitely helpful to go back and forth between other chords and that, because it will help you start to get the muscle memory of like this shape, you know. And it even could be helpful to like just, you know, close your eyes and like try and make that shape with your fingers. And then just kind of look at it and like, oh yeah, okay, I can kind of visualize like that's how it looks. There's those 2 and then there's those other 2. So just seeing and feeling that shape. So that's G major. And then the other chord I wanted to introduce is A major. And A major actually has a little bit of a transition, but A major is a much simpler chord. And neither of these are cheat chords. I will have you know these are actual official chords from the chord book. So the A major chord is index finger on second string from the top, first fret, and then, wait, is this right? Yes, and then your A minor finger. So you're gonna have your middle finger on your A minor, and then your index finger on the second string down on the first fret. So it's pretty simple. It's a really lovely chord. I love the A chord. And actually the A chord is not that common, at least in medicine songs, which many of you are familiar with. But really, and it's not a chord you hear like nearly as often as A minor, right? We hear A minor all the freaking time. And you can go back and forth between A minor and A, which is, I like it. It's a little funky. So that's the A, and that's the A minor. So you can totally hear why one is a major and one is a minor. Right? You're going from the like bright and sunny to the ooh, mysterious. So A is a great chord, and I feel like every time I play around with A, I find some really great progressions that I like. So one of the songs, only one of the songs out of the three I gave you all today have the A in it. It's a really great song. We will not go there right now. I will come back to it. Let's start with, pause. Does anyone have any questions on either of those chords?
Not on those chords, but I was wondering about the D. Would you mind, did you show us the D before?
I did, and it is in all three songs that I'm bringing to the table today, so it's a great one to review.
Okay.
So a proper D has more fingers than I'm using. I use a cheat D, which is my version that I do is your first two fingers, second fret, second and third strings from the top. You can also do the top string, which would mean you'd move everything up. So you're using your first three fingers. It's a very slight difference, but it's there, you can hear it. But that is the D chord. Yeah, and great question. So let's go into, anyone else have any questions on chords before we go into songs? No, we're good, okay. Great, so I emailed out the songs. I don't know if people saw that, but I did email the songs to you today. So the first one I'm going to teach is the simplest one. It's in English, and it doesn't have that many words, and it only has 2 chords. That being said, it's such a lovely song. It's very much a heart song. I cannot remember the woman's name who wrote it right now, but it is in your email. I researched it. I will say that her version is different. It's a bit different melodically, and the words, as I learned it, are slight variation as well. So how could anyone is the official title of the song, How Could Anyone. So the words are, how could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? I tend to say that your love, it is a miracle. Either way. How deeply, and here's the variation. So how deeply you are connected to my soul is the original version. You can also sing how deeply you are connected to your soul, or it could be how deeply we are connected to our soul. You could go through all of them if you want to. So those are the words, and the chords are E minor. So as a reminder, E minor, you can use all three or you can use just two, and it's a diagonal starting on the 2nd fret, 2nd string up, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, with the frets and the strings moving upward. So I tend to not use my middle finger. I just prefer the sound of the E minor without the middle finger, and it also happens to have one less finger that way, which is nice. So that's the E minor, and then it goes from E minor to D. And then back to E minor. And then that's it. Those are the chords. There is not really a strumming pattern. This is definitely one that I use the hybrid on, just with the rhythm. And that's the other nice thing about the hybrid, is that you can really play with the rhythm of the lyrics. Like, you can find the accents in the lyrics. So I'll just sing it through once, and then we'll slow it down a little. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than gold? How could anyone fail to notice that your love, it is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to your soul. How deeply you are connected to your soul. Yeah, so you hang out on E minor a lot longer than the D. So we'll just do that again. How could anyone ever tell you, switch, that you're anything less than beautiful? And back, anyone ever tell you that you're D, and back to E minor? How could and you're still on E minor? Then you switch to D and back to E minor. Here we go, D, E minor. Yeah, so I'll sing through it again. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than whole? How could anybody fail to notice that your love, it is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to my soul. Yeah. We want to go through it again? Are we good? One more time. Okay. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your love, it is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to my soul. How deeply we are connected to our soul. How deeply we are connected to our soul. How deeply we are connected to our soul. So that's the first song. And then the second song, for those of you who want a mouthful in Spanish, which I know some of you do, some of you might not, and that's okay. And maybe you can still play with the chord progression, which uses these same two chords and then adds the G. So sometimes I'll go back and I'll start with this English song and then I'll go into the Spanish song. Or sometimes I'll start with the Spanish song and go into the English song and then back again. They're fun ones to kind of play around with. So this Spanish song is Corazón, que es lo único que tengo, has a long title. And it has some wordy words. And I will just give a disclaimer right now that there is a terribly written line in this song. I need to figure out a creative workaround. So maybe that's homework for anybody who wants to take this song on and carry this song. There is a workaround that is being asked for because it is just impossible to sing it gracefully. It's too many syllables in one line. It pisses me off. Okay, so we also start on the E minor. If you've got the words, great. I emailed it today. If you don't have the words, do not worry about it. You can just follow along the strumming. So the pattern for the strumming is still starting on E minor and then into G. So here we go. And then D, which one of your fingers will already be there, and then back to E minor. So this is a really nice little practice round from switching, getting into G. Here we go. And then D. And then E minor. And it ends and starts on E minor too. So let's start that again. E minor. Over to G. D, and then E minor. And that's the last phrase, and now we start again on E minor, so you're still here. Over to G, to the D, to E minor. All right, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna sing the lyrics. We'll go through it. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we'll work it out. Gran Espíritu, gran abuelo, como soy me presento ante ti. Como soy te pido bendiciones, agradezco el corazón que es puesto puesto en mí. That's the line. Now, I know that sounded okay just then, but the reason why is because I skipped like several, I just took several words and like swoonched them together to where they're not even really there. So the line is supposed to be, y agradezco el corazón que has puesto en mí. But there's no room for all those syllables. So I'm working on it. For now, I guess we'll just keep going. And we'll return to this, and maybe one of us will have a brilliant idea about this song. So I'm going to start from the top again. Here we go. Gran Espíritu, gran abuelo, como soy me presento ante ti. Como soy te pido bendiciones y agradezco el corazón que has puesto en mí. Cuando vengo, no más vengo, no más vengo. Gran Espíritu, sabrás a lo que vengo. Entregar mi corazón, corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Entregar mi corazón, corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Entregar mi corazón, corazón que es lo único que tengo. So that's the whole song, and then you can, you know, rock out with an instrumental, and you can return to the top. I will send you all a version of a really beautiful, I don't know if it's the original version. I think it's the original version on SoundCloud. It's lovely. And what I just did there vocally, I did some variation on the actual, just the straightforward melody. So I'll send you the original version. If you want to play with the song, play with it. Some of you might want to capo it if that's not in a good range for you. Also keep in mind, like where I went really high, corazón que es lo único que tengo. You don't have to do that. You can stay lower, and yeah, you can play with the melody. So I will send the original. Anyone who wants to play with that line with me, great. I'll just give you an idea. So como soy me presento ante ti, como soy te pido bendiciones y agradezco corazón que has puesto en mí. So that's like one thing I've been playing with, is just inserting a whole other bar in there. The tricky thing, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to do about it. It's badly written. It's still a beautiful song. It's okay. We forgive him or whoever wrote this song. And maybe we will, something beautiful is going to come out of this group brain on this song. Any thoughts, questions, comments, remarks?
Hi.
Hi.
What I noticed with a lot of the Spanish songs is that it's really common for the words to just get blended and squished together.
Mhm.
And so, I think it's different when you're speaking the language versus singing it. And so I've noticed that over and over, how the words just get blended and smushed. And so.
Yeah, totally. It's totally common for that to happen. And I think just the thing that kind of mystifies me with this song is that it's like there's a whole word that's missing, that maybe changes the sentence. So I don't know. I mean, I'll do a little more research, and anyone who wants to, get into that, go for it. So we'll pause there, and then I'm going to introduce the third song, which is a mantra. It is a mantra in Gurmukhi. It's not even in Sanskrit, it's in Gurmukhi, which is the language it's the dialect of all the Kundalini mantras. And I love this song. This is a really sweet song to sing. And it's really sweet as a duet because there's kind of space for an echo. So eventually, if we all learn this song, then when we're together in person, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing because we can sing it together. So this song is going to use A major, starts on the A major, and then it goes into E minor, which A major into E minor, just like those are heartstrings for me. Wow, what a killer combination. So A minor into E minor, into G, and then back to A. So A major into E minor, into G, into A major. Yeah, beautiful. So those are the chords. Now this is also a little gonna throw another variable at you because the strumming on this song is a little different. The cadence of it is not like a do, it's like da 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 da. So there's some room to just play with rhythm in your body and see how it sounds. So I'm gonna sing through it. Again, these are all words that you don't know and maybe you've never heard before, and no worries, you've got the lyrics, you've got the chords, and yeah. So I will also say that there's also faster chord changes on this song. So I'm giving you all like the whole range of spectrum here because I know there's different versions. There's some of you who are just beginning. There's some of you who are a little bit more in the intermediate place. So I want you all to have stuff to work on. So I'm just going to sing it through. It's called Ang Song Waheguru. So here we go. Ang Song Waheguru. unsung Waheguru, unsung Waheguru, unsung Waheguru, unsung Waheguru. And then this part slows down, half that. Unsung Waheguru, unsung Waheguru, unsung Waheguru, unsung. And then we throw a random D in here. Waheguru. Yeah, so I'll go through it one more time. So just to go over that, so you're doing the same pattern the whole time. It's A, E minor, G, A, E minor, G, A. And then in that last stanza, that slows down, not your singing, but the strummings, the timing slows down. So it goes A, E minor, G, A, E minor, G, and then there's a pause and a D, just like a single stroke D, and then back into A. So I'll just play that last part and then I'll roll through the whole thing again. Sung Waheguru, sung Waheguru, sung Waheguru, sung Waheguru. Janapramakyo, Tenahi Prapapayo. Janapramakyo, Tenahi Prapapayo. Janapramakyo, Tenahi Prapapayo. Janapramakyo, Tenahi Prapapayo. Sajagao, Sanalaya Supai, Sajagao, Sanalaya Supai, Sajagao, Sanalaya Supai, Sajagao, Sanalaya Supai. Unsung Waheguru, 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 unsung Waheguru. And then if you were going to end the song on like a little instrumental, I would play it through and then end on the D part. And you can end on the A, but I like to throw in the D on that last variation. Yeah, so I know that was a lot to throw at you 3 minutes before class is over. But yeah, that gives you lots of things to work on, which is great. And I feel like between those chords and those songs, no matter what level you're at, you'll have something fun to play with. And just so you know, when we are together and playing that song, the echo would be like, Je ne prema kio, te nei prapapayo, je ne prema kio, te nei prapapayo, je ne pre. So it kind of falls on, and you hold that note, je ne prapapayo, while the other person is je ne prema kio. So coming on to the back of that note, and it's really fun. And then you sing together for the Sachakaho, Sanalaya, Supai, and the Ang Sang Waheguru. You sing those together. Yeah, right? I know. Those are all great songs. Also, I'm happy to report that the Munai songbook is done. I actually have it on my computer. We are having a board retreat this weekend. And even if you're not in the medicine world, if you're not into this stuff at all, Laura, this is for you. No worries. This book is still full of tons of amazing songs. So there's a whole section on like the Icaros and the medicine songs. But then there's a whole section on Spanish songs and a whole section on English and other songs. So even, you know, there's lots of great songs in there. So we're having a board retreat this weekend, and it is on my priority list to get permission to have the conversation about it. Just got finished a couple days ago. So we haven't received word yet of like, how much is it and how do we collect those funds and but I think it will be fairly easy to, you know, PayPal a donation, and I give you the link in my Dropbox. I mean, at least for now. I'd love to get it to you all if you would like it. So the long awaited Munai songbook, years in the making. So that is what I have. And let's do a little final check-in, just, you know, like 10 seconds or less, maybe your biggest aha and what you're taking away. And Karen, let's start with you, my love.
Gosh, I don't know if I have an aha, but I'm just like digging the song selection and just applying all the chords. It's so fun. So excited.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Laura?
All new information to me, so it was good. It was fun playing along with you, and so sweet seeing everyone's face. And yeah, here's Sky. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura and Sarah. This is both of your first meeting, and I know you've watched the videos and stuff, but you're both fairly new to this instrument. So good job. You just got totally thrown in the deep end, and I salute you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Brother Paul?
Yeah, better than a glass of champagne. So good, so sparkly. I love it. Thank you so much. Hope Skylar found the Cora strings. Cora strings? Is it a different Skylar?
No, that is the Skylar.
Sorry, we're muted. Yes, he did.
It's the same Skylar, Paul.
How's it going, brother?
Thank you. Hey, it's really good. Good to see you, man.
Did you find the strings?
I did find the strings.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yes. They're coming.
Cool.
Thank you very much for that.
Cool.
Constant thing.
Thanks, Skylar. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Mama Sarah, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I'm loving playing this instrument. It's funny, I've been intimidated by stringed instruments my whole life, thinking, oh, there's just too much to learn, and I don't like learning. And even though I was like a biology major and I loved learning things in that aspect, when it comes to creative outlets, I don't like learning things. I like just figuring things out on my own. So that's been really a big hurdle for me as far as stepping into the stringed instruments. And I've just been loving watching the videos. Even though this is my first video, I've probably watched each of the previous videos at least 2 or 3 times, and I'm just sopping and marinating in them. And I'm loving how easy this is. And I've already got several chord progressions I like, and several song themes that I'm thinking of. So yeah, I'm just loving this. Thank you.
Yay.
And I'm loving connecting and seeing with all of you too.
Yeah. Aw, so good to see you, hun. Mama Patra?
Yeah. I'm really enjoying. I'm used to playing my 8-string ukulele, so this has been really sweet to start playing the CharanGO, getting back to that again. And I feel like my ukulele really just gave me a huge boost towards having the skill to play this instrument, because it really is quite a handful. Has a wider neck, and it's got all those strings. So it really does require this certain like strength, and it can be really intimidating at first, but I'm really excited to practice Ang Sang Wahe Guru, and that sounds like so much fun. I can see us all out, like outside or something, and like singing it and playing it together. But for now, I'll just practice on my own, and I mean, all the songs, the whole selection I really liked. So yeah, very good. Thank you. And so good. My aha is all of you.
Yeah. Miss Mama Danielle, how you doing?
Good. That was fun. Thank you. Thanks for the new songs, and yeah, more to work on. I don't know that I have a specific aha, but yeah, happy to have spent this time with all of you, and yeah, hope to be practicing on more of a daily basis moving forward.
Great. Thank you all so much for coming. Let's all take a nice breath together. Big sigh out. Thank you all so much. And last thing, I have gone 5 minutes over my 15-minute over. Gee whiz. It's just that I was going to reassess whether we wanted to keep doing this in April. I think we will keep doing it because we had 2 people just join. So that was just my out in case like no one was coming, that I could just be like, okay, thanks guys. But people are coming, so we're gonna keep doing it. So yay. So we will be together again in May, and I'll send the date, and I love you all, and have fun with your music. Music medicine. Yes, yes, yes. Serenade your people. That, how could anyone tell you that is a really good song to have in your pocket? Like if somebody's crying, or if you have a little small human or a big human who just needs to be told those things, that is a really good song to have in your pocket. Just what, people will cry when you sing that song. I guarantee it. It'll be great. Love you.
Love you.
Good night, y'all.